What up? What up? What up? What up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Vinny Kuzz in the house. Woo! I'm a little tired, y'all. Just decided to pop on here. I'm feeling somewhat inspired by my buddy Richie Hustles. We'll see if we get anybody shows up this morning because this was an unplanned deal. Absolutely unplanned. Get everything set up here. All right, let's add that. Yeah, there we go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see if anybody shows up. Markets opened up this morning already. Traveler, what's popping, brother? Let's see what we got going on here this morning. In the markets. Figured I'd come on here and say hello because I haven't popped over here. I haven't popped on here in a minute, man. Really, really exhausted lately. Been doing so much. Like, I've been doing a lot. What up, brother? It's a lot of money news going around, bro. There's I guess you gotta, look at the source of a lot of stuff right now. We're gonna close this gap this morning. I should just jump in the trade blindly here. What is this? That's NQ. No, we don't want to do NQ. Let's get into MNQ. MNQ. There you go. That's what I want. MNQ. I want the small. I'm trading small, y'all. Playing small ball lately. See if we break this. Let me get this up here. Can we break that? As y'all can read below, man, this ain't financial advice. Don't pay attention to a damn thing I say about the markets because I don't know shit. I know nothing. And I'm almost done with my coffee, too. A lot of people nervous in the markets, man. You know, the markets have a tendency of being a self-fulfilling prophecy. I mean, you even got Michael Burry popping out of the woodwork. Ain't heard from him in a minute. He is the only thread. He's the only person on he's the only person on X that I have that whenever he makes a comment, I get notified. He's the only guy I got notifications for. And I tell you why, because Michael Burry, if you don't know who he was the guy who called the big housing market crash. If you've ever heard or seen the movie The Big Short, Burry was the one who called it. And when you look at that movie it's so damn relevant. First of all, we got the first 5-minute orb here. Let's break that down into the 1 minute. We are looking for the 15-minute orb. This box I got right here, this gray box, if you guys look at it, this is from a gap that was created a couple of days ago, last week. See it here? Big jump in the market. And we look, right? We got up here for about a week. See that big old hump and then a little retracing. Market likes to fill this gap about 80% of the time. It'll do it on the same day, but eventually these gaps get filled to a point. I mean, obviously when we look out over the bigger picture, I mean, come on. I mean, we're way down here, right? If we were going to be looking for a 20% correction, which incidentally, a lot of people, which is why I brought up Burry's name, a lot of people are expecting a big correction to come. They're likening the AI boom to the .com bust. Only there's one big difference, at least in my opinion. There's one huge difference right now between the .com bubble. And I'm no financial guy. So, you got all these guys got these indicators and newsreels and, Bloomberg, CNBC, backdoor, undercover, insider, all that shit. I ain't got none of that. I'm just a broke ass retired Uber driver, right? that's learning to trade futures, because it's just this gets me, you know. But the big difference is all this AI shit. When you look at the, I forget what they call it. It's not a paradigm, but when you look at the circle of all of these stocks, they all tie back to one stock, one company. All of this is dependent in one way or another on one company, and that's NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the mother lode. NVIDIA is doing the heavy lifting. NVIDIA just became the world's first $5 trillion company. So how NVIDIA goes, everything else goes, is how I'm looking at it. I could be wrong. It could be way off, but, you know, I'm not Michael Burry, but I know this. Michael Burry just put on a damn near $1 billion short on NVIDIA, like 914 million or 941 million dollars short on NVIDIA. Took a put options. The other company he took a sizable short on is Palantir. You know, those are the ones that can pick a pimple off your ass, you know, without you even knowing it. They're the sneaky son bitches. But the point is, in my opinion, you know, there's some stuff on the horizon coming. So just looking at this is just a daily chart, man. I'm not really looking at much here, but this is a daily chart. We're going to fill this gap. Do we fill it today? I don't know. Remember, I got my other screens over here. Are we going to fill this today or tomorrow? Because you have earnings, and earnings are okay. They're not great. But Palantir whacked them. Their earnings were phenomenal. Like, if you're an investor in Palantir, you should be selling that news. But you know what? Ain't nobody buying. Like, it didn't, you know, there were no bottles of champagne popped across the trading world yesterday, because self-fulfilling prophecy. Here we go. Here's a nice little thing. Yeah, so we're going to fill this in here. So you look, what this little thing I'm pulling here is my Fibonacci, and I picked this up from somebody. So what I've been working with the fib, high to low, low to high, however you turn to do it. Obviously, it's in the trend, so you want to go here. So we want to see this come back. If it comes to the 20% retrace and bounces, you know you got a good stock. It's strong, momentum strong. Sorry, that was a scam call. But 50% is, you know, what a lot of people look at, general traders. And this is what I mean by I'm learning about self-fulfilling prophecy. A lot of people will be in this range. Here, I'll mark it out. A lot of people will be like right in this range here, waiting to buy, right? They're going to be in this area here, waiting to buy right in here. This is called a premium, right? Or a discount. This is the premium. Above the 50% on the retrace, below the 50% would be the discount. People would take that and try to wait and buy in there. But the way it's explained to me is if you're going to even use Fibonacci retracement tool, you know, 20%, if it breaks below, now you want to wait and see what happens at the 50. If it gets all the way down here to a full 80% retracement, probably weeks, probably going to keep coming down. Just something to think about, something I'm playing around with. Again, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, man. So other than that, you know, I just want to come and say hello to everybody, man. That's the only reason I'm here. Fucking shit. Let's get on over here. Let's get back into the 1 minute chart, see where we're at on these charts. All right, well, we're sitting in a fib right now, 5 minute fib. Anyway, I see we only got one person watching. Okay, what's up, Thomas? What the fuck, man? Jesus Christ, Uber, fucking phone calls. Everybody messing with me this morning. I don't care. Go away. Jesus Christ. I'll throw the damn phone away. I tell you, I'm exhausted, man. I am exhausted. I didn't even get to make my my Tesla rideshare video vlog. I got to make that either today or tomorrow. I got to put that out on the channel, man. I got to get that going again. The weekend was long. I don't know how people did, you know, with the rideshare, the black app, the pink app. If you're a food delivery guy on the red app. By the way, I'm trying very hard not to call them by their names anymore. I know I might slip every now and then. We got a little something here. No way. I don't know if I want to even trust this right now. But let's see what happens. We'll put something up just in case. Just in case we get a little snatch back there. I doubt if we will. We might have a flat day today. And I don't know how people did. You know, I talked to several people. Everybody obviously did very, very good on they did really good on Friday, Halloween. I know here, Southeast Florida, if you were driving, we got hit with a couple of things here outside of Halloween because it started like Tuesday, Wednesday. We started noticing an uptick. Not a lot of surge, don't get me wrong, but you know, $2 here, $3 here, $5 there, mainly in that $1.75 to $3.50 range. But it was a lot of it. Like, you know, the area was spread out. And let's see, what do we want to do here? Do I want to set something up here? I don't know if I trust this. All right, dipping back in, reacting. What do I have above? Oh no, that's the fib. No way. No way it's coming back up there. So we started noticing a lot of, I don't want 3, I want 1. Expensive contract. And so we made some money, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I started noticing that Fort Lauderdale Airport wasn't a whole lot of cars in there. Shit ton, absolute tons of SUVs, right? And then that's going to be an interesting thing here soon, especially with the Black app. Shit ton of SUVs, but not a lot of sedans, not a lot of Tessies. You know, and a lot less X cars, right? A lot less X cars. And why is that? See, now we could have took this trade if I had just followed my damn strategy. Look at that. We'd be plus already. Anyway, and then Friday hit. And then Friday just everything broke loose, right? With Halloween and I mean, I have my theory why all of a sudden, you know, we're seeing little pockets of surge everywhere. And I always said, man, all you got to do is just look at the damn all you got to do is look at the airport queues. Right? And you don't want to look at SUV or Premier or even XL. You don't want to look at those. You know, hell, you really don't even want to look at Comfort. You want to look at the X cars. How many X cars are in that queue? And those X cars in that queue combined with other clues that they give us, in my opinion, my humble, broke ass opinion, is that early last week, and I think I'm going to have a problem tomorrow because I you know, the Black app has got some real issues. Uber, I hope you get it squared away because I've done everything you've asked. How many of you guys out there have gotten the email to re-upload your driver's license and change your profile picture? I got it last week. And as soon as I saw it, I said, oh, okay, let's pull over. Let's get this done. So I did. I uploaded my driver's license again, front and back. You know, kind of like what the Pink app does. But when the Pink app does it, they're just being assholes about it. Right? They'll have you do it 2-3 times a day. And it just, I don't even mess with them. It's just, they're a shit company and they pay shit rates. But anyway, the point is, the Black app asked for it. So I did it. Changed my profile. Every day at midnight, I get a goddamn message from the Black app, Uber, telling me, hey, upload your profile picture. I'm like, what the? So I go in and I follow the prompts. And when I go there, it says it won't let me upload it because I've already changed it. And so it's like, okay. I tried to text the chat bot, right? And that was pointless because that's just saying, well, this is how you do it. But I've already done it. So now when I wake up tomorrow, am I going to have access to my app even though I've already done everything they wanted me to do? For a fucking tech company. These companies are they're garbage, man. They have no tech. They want everybody to think they got tech. They don't have tech. They really don't. People are arguing with that. Well, you know, they're able to connect Point A to point B, point C, point D. Listen, I know people that can whip that app up in about 10 minutes, and I can do the same thing. Want to know how I know? Because I used to have the app. I had somebody, my buddy Thomas, who created a quick app for me when I had my car service, Kuzz Services. And if I sent you the app, you could request me right then. You could schedule me, whatever you needed to do. So it's not like it's that goddamn complicated. It's really, now, is it complicated on their scale? Well, I think that's more volume based than actual point A to point B based. There's a difference. There's layers. See, that's why I didn't trust this trade. That's why I didn't take it. That's why I didn't take this trade. I don't trust it yet. Market news has got me a little jittery. All right, so we got our first 15 minutes in. All right, there it is, top and bottom. I know it's going to fill this, but I don't want this so damn bright today. Let's actually, you know what? Let's do this instead. Let's get out of there because we've already breached it. So let's take and put this here. All right, we're going to color that. We're going to color that orange because we've already breached this gap here. So we're already in the gap. So let's get rid of that. Boom, there it is. Now I can see a little cleaner. That orange line is the bottom of the gap. Actually, we can type that in there. Gap bottom. There you go. We'll put that right there so we know what it is. Anyway, I'm just talking shit. I ain't even looked at my damn my comments over here. Let's see. So let's see what we got going on here. Well, there's Mr. Traveler. What's popping, buddy? My man Thomas. Yeah, what's up, brother? Lots of news going around. I'm still here, brother. I appreciate you, Thomas. I know I'm helping you. The grok from yesterday was awesome. Dude, you know, I enjoy doing those grok videos, man. Those grok videos, I'm telling you, like the more I use it. And I was talking with my buddy Pascal about this last night. Because like in my space here, right? This is my space. This isn't a room. This is part of my front room, right? And I've got 9 foot wide by 12 foot deep. And I told Pascal, I said, man, I want to, and I was looking around on YouTube and I haven't seen this on YouTube yet, that I wanted to use an AI to build out the space, right? Because listen, I call myself learning to trade, which is what we're doing here, right? I'm learning to trade. I do product reviews. Like I got this really cool bag here from Lano. I got to do camera bag. I've got a multiple micro card reader I got to do from them. I've got the big mount for the back. Anyway, I do product reviews too, right? Gulu. Gulu is a battery jump box combo air compressors. I do a lot of stuff with them, you know, and so those are rolling. But I feel like I'm not using the space correctly. So I told Pascal, I said, man, you know, I want to use AI to design. And I know that he just built himself an office, like physically the whole 9 yards, the 4 walls, the whole 9 yards, you know, an addition to his house, because he's got some good stuff going on over there. Look at this. This just might go, dude. This might have went. Huh. That might have been a good play, but anyway, so I said I was going to make a video and I was going to try to document all that about how I did it. And so last night when I got home, I opened up, I use Grok a lot. I use Gemini, which is the Google AI. I use that because of the YouTube stuff. And then I very rarely use ChatGPT, but you know, in this case, I asked all three. Bam, bam, bam. I put in the room dimensions. I told them exactly what I wanted. What I wanted this to do is a small YouTube studio where I could do trading, live streaming, and product reviews. And look at this go. Okay, got a little movement there. And you know, and this is what I wanted to build out. And this is what I had. I had 2 PCs, 5 monitors. You know, I've got this table back here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there's a adjustable leg table I built. You know, all IKEA shit, cheap shit, but it works. Who cares? And it started spitting out some stuff. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, shit, I'm halfway there. So, so when it comes to grok, for me, if you haven't seen that channel, it's Just Ask Grok. I'd appreciate you going over there and taking a look. My grok, when I'm in the car, in the Tesla, I hit grok and we'll talk about whatever. So yesterday's grok was about the penny. And I don't know how many people really pay attention to the fact that, Trump has said, hey, we ain't going to make the penny no more. So the penny, they're going to phase the penny out of production, right? It's not coming out of the market yet, but it's coming out of production. And the reason why is it because, and I didn't know this, it actually costs the United States about $85 million a year to produce the penny. They lose $85 million on minting the U.S. penny because of the material costs, electrical costs, all of this shit. And I found that to be interesting. And I didn't get into this with grok, but if it's costing you $85 million to produce the penny, what does that tell you about inflation? What does that tell you about the value of the dollar? But we didn't get into all that with grok. I just wanted to, I was looking at it more from our standpoint, which is what they plan to do is they plan to round up to the nearest nickel. They said round up or round down, but we all know how that's going to go. It's going to be all rounding up. And so now businesses will be able to make a few more dollars. The government will be able to make a few more dollars. For you and me, it might cost us 2-3 cents, right? 2-3% for every dollar. But for the government, over millions and millions and millions of transactions, they're gonna make a ton of money. No different than what the black app, pink app, red app do. If they can scam us out of a nickel on every ride, and they do 1 million rides, well, you do the math. They make money. So that's what that was all about. So yesterday's grok I thought was interesting. I wanted to do one this morning on the continuation of the government shutdown because I did one last week on what's the biggest reason for the government shutdown. And we all know what it is. And so that video actually had about 800 views and had some comments. I mean, a lot of comments. And so that, even though I'll mention it here when I'm online or whatever, I'm not pushing it. In other words, I'm trying to let YouTube push that channel. I want YouTube to do its job, which is to put it out in front of people and see if they like that type of content. And so far, some people that like it. The topic is what the key is to that. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying making those videos because I learned something every day. As my buddy Andres Gomez used to say, boss. He's Colombian. He had that deep baritone voice. Boss. There's always something to learn every day, boss. That was a good guy, man. He was a good dude. All right, let's see. Oh, Will, what up, Will? Man, me and Will have some back and forth on X, but it's okay. Why is this market going up? This market should not be going up. But it's running for that 50% level, huh? Is that what that was? Yeah, that was my 50% level, wasn't it? Yep, running back for that 50%. It sure is. Actually, that's the 20%. My bad. 50% would be down here. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that. I don't need that right now. I don't even need this one right now. This is just that's the daily fib. But you look at it, man, it's a hell of a roll over there, ain't it? That's a hell of a roll over there. Pull from the top down. All right. So there's the 20, there's the 50. Okay. There we go. That's working. I still haven't gotten that new mouse. We haven't broken London low yet. We're 956. God damn it, I hate this mouse. I keep saying I got to buy a new mouse. Sorry about that, y'all. Told y'all I'm broke. I told y'all I'm broke. pin that up. So what am I trading? I am trading 2 trading evals, 2 core 50K trading evals with a certain company. I don't have any affiliate links. Don't look for that when it comes to trading evals. I am on the prop firm space, starting to dabble again in some SPY options. That's a whole different animal. Those are, month out, whatever. I used to trade a lot of options, 0 dates, weekly dates, Tesla on the weekly, SPY on the daily. I had a lot of success with that before I had my heart attack. And, but since the heart attack has just been, haven't found my groove with it. And then I started getting into this, and, it's 2 different disciplines, trading options versus trading futures. Yesterday we did all right. We got both accounts up. What did we do yesterday? Total did about $300. Just no, it's more than that. About $340 yesterday on the 2 accounts to the plus. So that's good. And now we're just here, man. I'm just here hanging out with y'all. You guys are with me. I appreciate you. You stopping by and say hello, hit the like button. Isn't that what they say? Hit that like button. If you're seeing me, hit the subscribe button. I don't know what I'm going to do with Vinny Kuzz channel, man. Probably going to do just this. I was talking with Eddie yesterday, driving in style. And he said something to me that was kind of cool, man. He was like, man, when we were doing that morning show, Eddie and Vinny in the morning, I liked that. I liked doing that. I liked it too. Just the difference was the climate is so politically charged. Hey, there's a lot going on with politics, man. And like with Grok, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be more, I don't want to be biased, right? Like I want, when I go into the Grok channel and I'm recording those videos, I want to be as open-minded as possible, because let's be honest, I don't care if you're red-pilled, blue-pilled, right? And I've said this a million times before. We're about to go to 30 minutes. We're about to hit a 30-minute orb here in a minute, y'all. Give me a minute here. Let's see what happens here at 10 o'clock. We get our biases, right? Orange man bad. Biden senile and stupid, and he wasn't aware. Clinton only cared about blowjobs underneath the Resolute desk. Hillary Killery. You know what I mean? You get Obama, don't give a shit one way or another, right? You understand what I mean? So I try to go into these things with no bias when it comes to Grok. And so I'm trying to unlearn some of my biases. And so with those videos, the more unbiased I can be, the more I'm willing to listen to what the information is coming to me. And then I can develop my bias. And I enjoy that. I enjoy doing that. Oh, Antonio, here we go. Here goes my buddy. When you're aligned with Elon, it's hard. No, it's not. Let me explain this. Maybe this helps you. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'm aligned with Elon when it comes to my wallet. That's where my alignment lies. I'm 57 years old. Now, here's some real truth for you. I have done it. I have done just about everything you can do. Right? And this is God's honest truth. And I got to remind myself of this stuff a lot. I've been a soldier, and everything that entails. In theater, out of theater, lit them up. Few people went bye-bye, almost went bye. I've done all that shit, right? I am a father 4 beautiful children, beautiful wife, long time married, 36 years, the whole 9 yards with that. I've been a union man for 21 years. So I've been on that, that blue side of the aisle. I marched with Eastern Airlines. I've met Reggie Jackson, that giant grifter, twice. He got me the first time and the second time, and then I learned that he's just in it for the money. Rainbow Coalition, whatever the hell his bullshit grift is. I've marched with guys that knew that their jobs were going to be lost. Negotiated CBAs, hung some of the craziest shit on a trade show floor ever, swung 18,000-pound rigs in the air, designed, installed, rigged it. I've run crews of 100 men or better. I've done all these things. I've experienced loss, wins, losses. I've been passed over several times for positions, higher positions up. I've owned not one but two businesses. Actually, I've owned more than that. I own 3 businesses. My point is that I've done a lot of shit. And hey, look, man, there were times when I had money and there were times when I didn't have money. Because that's the cycle, right? That's the cycle. I was never going to be the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company. I'm from the hood, man. I'm from Carroll City. We don't make it out like that. Unless you're an athlete, you don't make it out like that. But, well, let me rephrase. It's extremely difficult to make it out like that unless you come out on the dirty side. Slinging, if you know what I mean. Anyway, the point is that, you always find new things to do. When I tell you, as a young person in the military, I was a Republican. When I got out and I went into the union and I was working for this union or part of a union, I became a Democrat. Why is that? Because at those moments, you're not thinking with your wallet. You're too young, stupid, and dumb to really open your mind up to see what's going on. Right? This is just my opinion. It don't mean nothing to nobody, but it's my opinion based on my experience. Military is always Republican because the Republicans always believe in defense first. So they will give the military the money it needs, pay for the soldiers, take care of the soldiers, armament, all of that shit. Now, at that time, I'm not thinking about Raytheon, right? I'm not thinking about Boeing. I'm thinking about Vinny Kuzz as an 18-year-old private making his way up the ranks to an E5, right? Becoming a sergeant, doing all of this, sitting behind a main gun of a 105 millimeter cannon, popping rounds down range. That's what I'm thinking of at that time. Then when I get out, well, now my heart's aligning with, Democrats, unions, Democrats. They go hand in hand. Well, why do they go hand in hand? Because the Democrats sit there and tell you how, we're for the working person. We're for the working person. Union strong, blah, blah. Listen. Both sides, they fucking pander. It's a pandering game. And the deeper you get into the union and the deeper you move into the executive board and things of that nature, I was a senior trustee for a ton of years. So the deeper you move into this, you start to see all the other bullshit, right? And when they try to slip you something under the table because, they don't want anybody, that's where you got to say, hey, I ain't with this shit. As a business owner, what does a business owner want? They want to be able to do their job without the government interfering, without regulation. And this is what I'm talking about. You go through these different experiences, and now you start seeing all the different shit. So my point, Mr. Antonio, is simply this. At this stage of the game, even at 57, while I have a few things to lean on, I can't lean on them yet. So I still got to move forward. When I vote with my wallet. I vote with what's going to benefit my family. Because I've seen what both political parties do. Case in point, government is shut down right now. Every time I see a Democrat on Twitter, on TV, on YouTube, talking about, it's the Republicans' fault. We got to get these. None of those mother son of a bumpkins have taken their paycheck and donated it to a family. or a multitude of, because remember, they make $174,000 a year, they're guaranteed. Congress is still pulling a paycheck no matter what. So when you got people, right, on TikTok fighting at Walmart because they're trying to feed their families or whatever, whether they should be on SNAP or not I'm not talking about that. All I'm saying is, and I'm not even looking at the comments right now, I want to get this off my chest. All I'm saying is, while the peasants, you, me, and everybody else, is chasing clout or going to work and not getting a check, while we are doing the work, the peasants in the fields, the kings, all them some bitches up there, they're still getting paid, bro. So I don't vote with my heart. It doesn't matter how I feel about something. What matters is how is it going to affect my bottom line? Because I still have bills. I owe people too. Everybody owes somebody. And if they, you want to make good on this shit. So, and to do that, you got to make money. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. Ain't nobody giving that money back. Congress is still collecting the check. So as long as they're collecting the check, bro, it's kind of tough to sit there and deal with these folks. You know, it's kind of hard to take them serious. New York City's got a big problem. Hold on, I got to change this chart. God damn it, Tony, you got me running my mouth this morning, buddy, and that's okay. I appreciate it. All right, so here we go. We're on the 30-minute chart. Now we got a 30-minute opening orb. Here is our 5-minute. For me, when I trade the 5-minute orb, now I'm looking for a fair value gap. Come back the opposite way, and then we'll jump in and we will make some adjustments over here because I'm trying to trade both accounts at one time. I don't know if I'm going to make any trades with you guys, man. Every time I make a trade with you guys, it doesn't always work out. Mr. DSN, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in forever. I hope everything is going well for you up in Colorado. Big Dom out of Cali. Broke is a state of mind. Yeah, it can be. Let's see. Military friends who haven't been paid, only 1x in the last 4 weeks. And Dom, I get all that, right? I get all that. What I don't, but we can't lose sight of one thing, Dom, with the military. And again, I'm speaking from a point of experience. If those military guys, if they're single, now just hear me out. Don't jump down the throat about this. They will get paid. It's going to happen. Oh, man, hold on. I got to think about this for a second. Give me 1 second. Let me see what this is going to do here. Let's see. This would be down to here. I still think this is going to come. I think we're filling that gap today. Set up a 2-to-1 risk to reward here. Fuck it. It's close enough. I still think this is going to roll before it shoots. See, this candle here had me ready to go right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. It wicked in to the FVG, but then the next candle, it's not giving me a close above that candle. So this is kind of telling me that it might roll a little bit. We're going to keep an eye on that. If you're single in the military, and while you do have bills, you might have a car payment. We're getting some buying pressure here. Buyers are trying to snap it back up. I don't know why. It just makes no sense to me. Listen, they go to the chow hall 3 times a day, 4 times a day, depending on where they're stationed at. They're going to eat. They're going to sleep. They got a place to sleep. They got heat and cold. They got air-conditioned heaters. In other words, while I get they need their money, and, they might have a stereo they got to pay for or a car they got to pay for, or maybe they're helping out their family. I get that. I'm not discounting that. But the military itself, the individual themselves, they're okay. They're going to get their food. They're going to get remember, the military gives you all the clothes you need for work. They give you the barracks. They get everything you need. You have on post. So with that said, now they still got to pay for their families. And a lot of guys get married. A lot of guys have kids. A lot of guys got dependents. And that sucks. But they got paid. So they get paid on the 1st and the 15th every month. That's how the military pays out. So, did they get paid November 1st? I don't know. I know they got paid mid-month October. all military personnel got paid then, but do they get paid now? I have no idea. So I get it. My heart right now, and my heart right now is with, and I wanted to do a grok about this morning, and maybe I'll do it tomorrow because I forgot my damn camera this morning. It's all those outside of the SNAP benefit people, outside of the WIC, because WIC got paid, right? Those with the women, infant care, WIC checks, that money went out. SNAP got paid through October, but wait a minute, checked me on that. I don't know about that. I know that some judge said that they have to, that the Fed has to use the emergency funds to pay out SNAP. But we also know that 59% of those receiving SNAP benefits, right, aren't legal to receive them. It's such a fucking mess. Whether you agree with it or not is irrelevant. Right is right, wrong is wrong, law is law. You don't like the law, you change the law. So anyway, I want to talk about the air traffic controllers. I want to talk about, parks and recs, right? Those people, because those people got families. The ones that take care of our state parks, our federal parks, those people got families too. They're hungry. They can't go into the bushes and kill a raccoon and make a rabbit stew. You know what I'm saying? They got to eat too. Air traffic controllers. Well, this goes back to when I was talking about earlier with the rideshare, right? BOA's contrarian indicator still neutral, but getting closer to sell. BOA is starting to think it might be time for the roller. I'm telling you guys in the market, this is just my thinking. You might want to start looking at maybe your more volatile holdings, if you have any. You might want to think about closing those positions and holding on to cash. You can always get back in, but just something to think about. You might want to think about that. I want to talk about with Grok all the others. Not just the lowest end, but all the others. The others that pay the fucking taxes, that pay for the benefits that everybody else receives. Because I've seen a shit ton of videos, right, where this one that stuck out to me, Richie Hustles did a live last night covering some he was reacting to this one chick's YouTube video about SNAP mania and people going crazy with the SNAP benefits, whatever. I don't know. I couldn't get my eyes above her neck. But anyway, the point is that there was this one woman on there that says, I will never, ever, ever, ever get a job. I will live off the government all my life. That's, and you know how many motherfuckers think that way? They just, that's not me, dude. I've never taken a single handout from the government. Ever. 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 I'm not saying that as a proud fact. I'm saying that I was always able to, even when we were at our lowest. And let me tell you, man, go through Hurricane Wilma with 4 small kids, right? 4 babies. And you didn't see Hurricane Wilma coming in 2005. And half your roof rips off your house and your pool's out the ground. And the back awning's completely ripped up the side of the building. And you got no power for 3 weeks. And you're looking across the street and their power is on and yours isn't. And you're basically van lifing it before that was a thing on YouTube out of a 96 Suburban lifted. Yeah, man. We've had tough times. We've absolutely had tough. Nobody came to rescue us. Nobody came to rescue us. I don't know, man. I'm just rambling this morning. Let me get up some of these damn comments. Let's see. Let's get out of there. Thomas, I'm next to the airport and man, it's bad out there. The lines are getting longer. I'm curious. Like, I looked at the airport. So going back to the rideshare thing, see, this is going to go, man. I think this is going to go. I don't know. It's just a lot of hesitation here, y'all. A lot of hesitation here. But this is where I would jump in and I would take, you know what? I I don't want to take that big risk. This could just, Anyway, so from what I was understanding, air flights, a lot of flights getting canceled, but a lot of drivers are going to be out there. So I don't know. I looked at, we had all that surge last week, and then Saturday it was like they turned the surge off. It's like Uber, or the Black app, adjusted their algorithm to allow it to surge because the same amount of cars and the same amount of flights that were coming in on Thursday and Friday were coming in on Saturday and Sunday, and the queues were still that low, right? And where it was surging $10, $15 a day before was now only surging $1.25. So they played with the algo, even though the numbers didn't change. So then I got to thinking, okay, well, when I go into the airport, I pick up a ride, I want to see along the terminals. Like, is there a lot of people standing there? Saturday, there was people standing there, bro. They play with these algos so much. They turn that shit down. What are you going to do? So, okay, Thomas, that's it. Let's see. I was on Snap. I was on Snap for a year, but it was tough. It doesn't, listen, it's designed to be there if you need it. That was my whole point. If you need it, then it's there. We are a loving country. That's what we do. If Japan never bombed Pearl Harbor, the United States might have never gotten into World War II, and them motherfuckers over there be speaking goddamn German. I'm just saying. Because Roosevelt wanted nothing to do with it. He wanted nothing to do with that conflict over there in Europe. We are a loving country. Because once we do get involved as a nation, we're in, baby. We're all in. All in. And so that's fine, Dom. If there's nothing wrong with it. But you got generational families out there on Snap, dude. Like the kids are born on Snap, and then they still getting Snap when their kids are born. You mean to tell me, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying in general. You mean to tell me generation to generation, they didn't go to school? They didn't bother to try to get an education? Yo, even if your peoples aren't showing you any better, don't you want better for yourself? So being temporary is okay. That's what it's there for. Unemployment, even though we pay into it and it's paid into the fund by our employers, it's not a charity. My daddy had to teach me that. It's not charity, son. It's your money. If you need it, you take it. You humble yourself enough to take it. And then work to get yourself off of it. That's all I'm saying. These motherfuckers are living on this shit. Let's see. I remember Hurricane Wilma, and at that time we were having a hurricane or tropical storm every other week. At that time, it was wild back then. That was 2005. I think that was the year we had 5 major hurricane. 3 or stronger, right? Category 3 or stronger hurricanes. 5 of them hit the state of Florida. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to go let go of some stuff. And yeah, I remember that, bro. We got whacked that year, right? We got whacked. Conversely, hey, Thomas, this year, state of Florida, North Carolina, I think got scrubbed up a little bit. South Carolina got scrubbed up a little bit, but not one storm, not one, even close to the state of Florida this year. Imagine that. There's some conspiracy theory on that shit. Let's see. That's because y'all on the worst coast come to SoCal. Weather is A1 and perfect 360 days out of year. Yeah, but Dom, the problem with going Y'all just, man, y'all taxes are crazy, and your politics are worse, bro. I can't do that shit, dude. I couldn't do that shit if I wanted to, dog. I listen. I'm born and bred Miami native. All right, born right down there at Jackson Memorial Hospital, middle of Dade County. That's my hood, man. Grew up Carroll City, Miami Gardens. Watched them build Joe Robbie Stadium. Y'all know it as Dolphin Stadium, Hard Rock Stadium. I remember, bro. This is home, man. This is home. This is home. Cannot beat home. Now this market's just sitting here, dude. It's already 1022. We could have gotten in that trade there when it was down here in the 15, and we'd have been fine. Just didn't pull the trigger. That's a problem that I'm having. That's a problem that I'm having. Is I'm being a little too cautious. September was fine. Did great in September. October did not do so well in October. Did not do so well in October. The good thing is my Tesla is going. That's going up. Remember not too long ago I was telling y'all buy Tesla? Remember when I was telling y'all to buy Tesla down at $1 at $170, $180? What's Tesla at today? Remember I was telling y'all that. I know some other people weren't with it, but I'm sorry. Tesla. $458 today. Remember I was telling y'all that? Not financial advice, but I had said, hey, $25 a week, $50 a month, whatever you can do, just start buying. Just start buying. Now, now I got to look at, okay, do I take some of that off the table? Do I take some of that Tesla off the table? I don't have a lot. But do I take some of that off the table? I don't know yet. Because if we are in a bubble, which I do believe we're in something. We are in something. But I was listening to the press or the Secretary Treasurer this morning on an interview, and he gave me a minute to pause. And I'll tell you why that is. Even though, when you look at the dot-com bubbles and you look at the AI bubble, that's a fair assessment. There are a lot of similarities in the charts and stuff like that. One big difference, though. This is the big difference. Besides the fact that it all ties into NVIDIA. Bro, President Trump has went and gotten billions of dollars of investment coming into the United States. So in other words, during the dot-com bubble, we was kicking all our money back out to other countries. I don't know if this shit's relevant or not, but to me, it seems like it could be relevant. And then you look at the CEO from NVIDIA. He said, well, Donald Trump, when he became president, said the one thing he wanted from us as a company was to build our chips here in the United States. So NVIDIA came back, started building. And he said it himself. They built the world's most advanced AI chip right here on American soil. You got billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of investment from the Saudis. Just cut another deal with Japan, another $500 billion or $500 million, whatever it is. The difference then between then and now is our money was going out then. But now the money's coming back. The money's coming in on this one. So while we have all the similarities between the dot-com bubble and where we're at right now with AI, I don't know, bro. Would you rather have the money coming in or the money going out? And then at that point, or does that just make it prolong the inevitable? Does that just prolong the inevitable? I don't know. I'm not a financial guy. But you know what? I'd like to know when the last time is when we had the stock market at all-time highs and we had billions of dollars coming into the country, new money. This is new money, y'all. This ain't old money. This ain't money that was owed to us. This isn't us collecting debt. This is new money. Tariff is new money. All this investment from all of these countries, that's new money. Companies building their warehouses and manufacturing and office and bringing all that shit back. That's new money. That's not old money. When's the last time that happened? I'm just curious. I'm gonna have to ask Grok about that, right? You know what? I don't know if she would be able to give me an answer. You know what? Let's see. Y'all want to find out? Let's find out. Let's do a little Grok. Hey Grok, what are you doing?
Chatting with you. Ready to help. What's up?
All right, I have a very complex question I want to ask you. Are you ready?
Always.
Okay. A lot of people, a lot of speculation about the current stock market highs are based around an AI bubble, and they are comparing the AI bubble to the dot-com bubble. But I wanted to ask you a question. Well, first of all, do you understand what I'm talking about? You know the rumors right now, the fear.
Yeah, totally get it. The chatter about AI stocks like Nvidia and the Magnificent Seven driving the market to all-time highs, with folks yelling, bubble, and flashing back to the dot-com crash in 2000. It's got that mix of hype, FOMO, and straight-up fear. What's the specific angle you're digging into?
So what I want to know is during the dot-com bubble, the investment to build and support all those companies, the money was leaving the United States and going out to other countries. Versus now at this time, we have a lot of money and investment coming back into the United States. Is that a fair assessment, or am I just living in Wonderland?
You're not in Wonderland. It's a pretty fair take, actually. Back in the dot-com days, yeah, a ton of that wild cash was chasing startups, outsourcing tech, and manufacturing overseas, like to India or China. So it leaked out of the US economy pretty quick. Now with AI, it's flipping the script. Huge investments pouring back in. Think Nvidia's chips, massive data centers from Microsoft and Google, all built mostly here or with US firms leading. We're talking billions in domestic capex that's juicing GDP without as much outflow. Powell even called it out recently, saying this boom's got real earnings behind it, unlike the old hype. Still, bubble's gonna bubble, right?
Well, I mean, if it's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy like it has in the past, if they want it to be a bubble, hedge funds, market makers, they'll make it a bubble. If the building and the revenue inflow is real, it should be able to combat a bubble. Once again, am I being fantastical about it, or is that some real shit?
Man, you're not being fantastical. That's sharp thinking. Self-fulfilling prophecies are how markets crash, sure, with hedge funds shorting and spooking everyone into a stampede. But this AI stuff, it's got legs, real revenue, like Nvidia's pulling in over 60 billion last year, and companies like Apple, Tesla, pouring cash into actual chip fabs and infrastructure stateside. It's not just vaporware promises like pets.com back then. If the fundamentals, like earnings and capex, keep growing, it could weather the hype panic better than .com did. Still, nothing's bulletproof. Markets are moody. Want me to check latest X trends on AI bubble talk?
No, we're good. Appreciate you. Talk to you later. So you see, and that's what I mean by and yo, I might have to go back and chop this up and make this a Just Ask Grok video. But that was my point. So if you listen, if you could hear, I hope you guys could hear what she was saying. If you listen to it, the biggest difference is we got money coming in versus our money going out. So that should, you would think, one would think logically, unless they manipulate the market. And I'm not saying that it doesn't need a correction, because a lot of this shit is overvalued, i.e., the Black app is overvalued. We got tech glitches every single day with these apps. The Pink app, they are the Dollar General of rideshare. The Red app, DoorDash. Well, guess what? If there's no SNAP benefits, if there's no support or supplemental income coming into these households, then ain't nobody going to be ordering, from the Red app. So they should get punched in the face a little bit too, don't you think? My point is, this should sustain itself once we get past this whole government shutdown. Is there going to be a correction? Of course. How much of a correction? 5%, 10%, 20%? Who knows? But I don't think it'll be as severe as, unless the only way I see a full-on legitimate market correction that would absolutely tank the world is if Nvidia came out with, hey, we've been lying to everybody and we don't know shit about AI. That's it. Because when you look at and I swear I can't think of the name of the damn thing. Hold on. Hey, Grok, what is the chart or diagram when you have a bunch of companies that all tie back into one company? What do you call that chart?
It's called a corporate structure diagram or an organizational chart, depending on the focus. If you're talking about one company owning or controlling a bunch of others, it's often a holding company diagram or a corporate pyramid. Think of it like a
Yeah, no, that ain't what the hell I'm looking at. I'll have to come back and find it later. Anyway, oh man, what are we doing here? Antonio says, sounds like Civil War time, nothing better than cheap labor. Well, I mean, all those tech jobs, all them tech jobs coming into the United States, that's not cheap labor. Like, them people get paid, bro. That's always been the argument. That's always why corporate America's always taking their shit overseas, because they always used to say the American labor is too cheap. I mean, too expensive. American labor is too expensive. I don't know. We're going to find out, though. I mean, that's for damn sure, right? We're all going to find out. The only reason I can see these people wanting a civil war, right, is that they keep getting everybody emotional. They keep getting everybody emotional. As long as people live in their feelings, then they're always going to be susceptible to violence. If people live in logic, then cooler heads will prevail. But as long as they can stir people's emotions, get them all fired up, keep them toxic, then yeah, at any time it can pop off. At any time it can pop off. Think about it. I haven't seen it yet myself. I haven't seen it yet myself with anybody, walking into a store, just grabbing shit and leaving. I haven't seen that yet. And I don't know how I'll react to that. I mean, on the one hand, it's really none of my business. Right? That's up to the store to let that shit go. That's up to the people that work there to deal with that bullshit. That ain't my job. Right? But on the other hand, you got to, again, this could just be the GI in me. You have an obligation to service your community in every way, shape, or form. I would probably, as long as nobody's getting hurt, I probably mind my business. I might even be one of them idiots, one of them idiots that do this shit. Boop! Look at this dumb, right? And put that shit on YouTube. I don't know. More than likely, I mind my business. As long as nobody pulls a weapon. Once I see a weapon, then automatically I go into defense mode, and guess what? It's the OK Corral all over again. So I don't know. I don't know how I deal with that. AI taking them jobs. Yeah, well, here's the funny thing, Tony. Did you see this thing last week? The big market news last week was Amazon laying off 14,000 people or something like that. 90% of those jobs is all white collar middle management. It's all middlemen. It wasn't the worker bees. It wasn't the peasants. And it wasn't the kings. It was all of them wannabe lords in the middle. Now, I don't want to see nobody lose their job, but Walmart's doing it. Amazon's doing it. FedEx is doing it. UPS is doing it. They're getting rid of that middle management because AI can do the job. How we move forward with that's above my pay grade, man. I would suggest, I don't know if y'all want to have this story. Here we go. When the car came online, first automobile started rolling around. Hell, you can even go before that. When bicycles were first created, people were riding their bicycles. What do you think that blacksmith was saying? That blacksmith was like, people are still rather ride a horse. So they're going to need horseshoes. So I'm safe. Now the car comes out, right? You get the steam engine, the gasoline engine cars. The blacksmith now, he's like, people will never adapt. They're still going to want to ride their horse. They're going to need horseshoes. I'm fine. Then what happened? Model T came online. It was cheap to build. Americans could afford it. And they were ready to go. And then you start seeing no more dirt roads for the horses and trails, but you start seeing cobblestone streets. All right. And then eventually, obviously, we get up to what we're at now. Blacktop, asphalt, whatever you want to call it, concrete, all that bullshit. The point is, it's never instant like that. It shows itself, the innovation shows itself to you as it goes. It sneaks up on you. It doesn't hide from you. It doesn't one day say, Tony, go get your horse. Your horse needs brushing and shots. And the next day it says, Tony, your Toyota needs air in the tire. That ain't how it works. People always think their job or what they do to make their money, for the most part, can't be replaced. I did a whole Just Ask Grok video on AI jobs when it comes to driving. And what I found in that video was transportation as a whole, and you know what? I'll even go find the video and link it up down here and you go take a look at it. Transportation as a whole, planes, trains, and automobiles. The safest transportation job right now, and boats. Can't forget the boats. The safest transportation job right now, believe it or not, is train engineer or train locomotive engineer, conductor. That's the safest job right now when it comes to transportation. Out of all of them, Thomas, you saw the video. You know what we're doing? Bro, listen. The Tesla Rideshare channel that I have mainly focuses on positivity when it comes to this rideshare shit. Not some of the toxic shit and videos that I've made on this channel. And I talk about my earnings, but not in depth. I don't go crazy with it, right? I'm out. It's like a vlog. And then I talk about some Tesla news because I'm a Tesla guy. That's where I'm at. You know, like it, love it, hate it, leave it, whatever. That's where I'm at. I'm into my Tesla. And then full self-driving. And then I get people's reactions first time ever, with having the car driving. So when that happened, I got the FSD and it was like, a little bit at a time, a couple of days. I try it once, a couple of days later, try it again, a couple of days, try it again. And then the whole news broke about version 14 with the FSD coming out and seeing all the videos and shit. But then they also said that Tesla was going to give everybody a free month so that they could try it. Well, I had thought that I got in the free month. So I was waiting to see what was going to happen. I let it lapse. And then we were at the end of the month. I had to pay all the other bills. Couldn't put out that extra 100. And then the other day I went ahead and got it back on. I think I put it back on Sunday. Yeah, today's Tuesday. I put it back on Sunday, right? And bro, yesterday and today, I'm going to tell you what. I ain't going to lie, bro. You start driving with FSD, and I'm on version 12.6.4. I'm hardware 3. I'm old school compared to the latest, greatest shit, right? You start letting that damn thing drive you around a little bit, and you start to get comfortable. I'm not saying you get complacent, but you become more trustworthy with it. I mean, your head's on the swivel, bro. You're looking at everything, right? You see this car, you see this banana head, you see how that. But when I tell you, you start to understand where we're going. This is why, love it or hate it, like it or leave it, I got away from the toxic shit of rideshare. I got away from the toxicity on Twitter. I got away from the toxicity on YouTube. I have really chopped my goddamn circle down to get away from all that negative shit. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I'm looking at the future, the positive. So to tie it back in, Tony, what I'm saying is the shit is inevitable. It's coming. It's here. Waymo is running into each other. They got Waymo videos out there where they're running it. It ain't going nowhere. Shit is here. Tesla's robotaxi. It's here. It's only a matter of time. The biggest of the big cities, especially in the southern part, if you noticed, all the self-driving is southern states. California, Arizona, Texas, Florida, Georgia, right? It's all in the southern states because they don't have to deal with snow. Well, some parts of Texas will, but Austin ain't got to deal with snow today. Dallas ain't dealing with no snow today, right? Melvin's told me San Antonio, they ain't dealing with no snow today. Fuck, I live in Miami, bro. It's only ever snowed here once. That was 1977. So all the southern states is where all the EVs are, or the self-driving EVs. So those up north, New York City, Chicago, Seattle, some of you guys are safe for right now. For now. Not for long, but for now. But if you live in one of these southern states, bro, it's here. Dog, it's here. It's here. I'm just saying. It's coming. Vinny, them color apps stealing from us. Bro, they've been stealing from you. Black app, the pink app, and the red app. I don't want to give them. I'm trying very hard not to mention them by name because they're not worthy. They're really not worthy of it. Let's see. It's UPS's fault for starting all of this. Once people heard their new deal and how much drivers were making, everyone went on strike. Yeah, UPS is an interesting thing, man. And it wasn't like all them drivers. It was just some of them drivers, but everybody thinks. So there's that. And then, yes, sir, I watched them all. I do appreciate that. Bro, we have not taken a trade. But when we look at the overall scheme of the market this morning, remember that first 5-minute trade would have been a good trade, right? We had to trade in when we were right here. There was a trade right here on the 1. Let me back this up a little bit. Right here, this was the trade that we looked at right there. Actually, no, this needs to be up. So the trade would have been right here. I did not take it. And remember, I mentioned it to you. If you've been here on the channel the whole time this morning with me, I mentioned this trade. I said I wasn't trusting it because I haven't been trusting anything lately. But in here was the trade, right? On the 5-minute orb, broke down, broke above it, had our fair value gap, wicked into it. This candle here is what scared me out of the trade. And then we came back, but here's the 21 EMA. So here's where we could have got into this trade right here. As soon as this candle went green, we could have got in right here. This would have been the spot. So let's do that real quick. So we would have been here. This would have went 2-1. Actually, we would have went 3-1 on this trade. Either way, it would have worked out. Yeah. So it would have been somewhere in here. That would have been a 3-1 trade. And we would have been fine. But we did not take the trade this morning. That's not good. Shit happens. You live, you learn, you keep it moving. Back into the 5-minute chart now. We get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. Get out of that. We do have a fair value gap here now. Below here is an indicator. This is a bullish area right here. But we're just sitting here right now. So we're holding off on the 30-minute, top of the 30-minute orb. A lot of buying, selling pressure here. Might not take a trade today, y'all. Might not take a trade today. While I'm thinking about it, let me link up my other channels. Y'all all right with me linking up my other channels? Doesn't matter. I'm going to link them up anyway. Well, y'all can go check these channels out if you want to. I would appreciate it. I don't like promoting my other channels, but you know what? They're my channels. So I'm going to link them up. Boom. There's the Just As Grok channel coming through. You guys can watch that one. Film. And if you're into rideshare, if that's your thing right now, if you're, and I am, I'm still into rideshare. I'm still out making my money. I broke 1,000 last week, y'all, because of the Thursday and Friday. I didn't have to kill myself for it either. So does that mean that the season's back, or did we just get lucky? Well, like I said, they damn sure turned down that, they readjusted that goddamn surge real quick. They adjusted that surge real fucking quick Saturday and Sunday, bro. There was a little surge out there yesterday. Those are the two channels right there. You guys can go check them out. They adjusted that surge real quick, y'all. They was not playing with it. All right, so let's get out of this for a minute. We know if we go and make a trade, we'll make it there. But it's too much wicking in here. Too much wicking in here. I need some kind of confirmation. We'll see what today brings. I know this morning I couldn't sleep with the shit, so I was up this morning about 4:30. And I opened up the app, and the app was just, there was no surge whatsoever. So they went from surge turned up full blast to maybe 10%. And if they think drivers are going to go out and drive for these X rates and comfort rates too, down around the X rates, at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, they're not going to have as many drivers. And I applaud the Black app. I applaud Uber for having us upload our driver's licenses and trade our profile pictures. Just damn it, I've already done it, so don't screw with my app come tomorrow. But I applaud them for doing that, because that means a lot of the illegal accounts, well, I didn't notice what I said, illegal accounts. Whether somebody's renting the account, whether somebody's fraudulently created the account, whether they're getting it off Facebook, however they're acquiring the account. If you cannot produce that driver's license and you cannot produce that profile picture to match that driver's license, you got a problem, bro. That means you're not driving. And if you're not driving, that means there's less drivers on the road. And if there are less drivers on the road, then your demand will now start to catch back up with your supply, because let's be honest, there's been way too much supply, not enough demand. That's why ain't none of us making no goddamn money. But the apps, the Black app and the Pink app, are making all the fucking money. And even with them making all the money, their stock price coming down. I'm telling you, for tech companies, they suck. Tesla's going to kill them all. $25 a week, $25 a month. Buy Tesla. Anyway, that's not financial advice. All right, where are we at? Geofence is undefeated on the map. You ain't lying about that either, bro. That Geofence is something else. All right, so now here on the 5-minute chart, we see what we got here, right? We got a little bearish fair value gap trying to form up. Let's see what that's going to do there. We're above VWAP on the 5. We're above VWAP on the 1, because I still got all my shit over here, y'all. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know I got all that over here, right? See all that over there? Still got all that over there. Anyway, let's see what happens here. Maybe we can get a trade off before we shut this off. We got about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I stopped trading at 11 o'clock. I got some cleaning to do. I got some straightening out to do. I got some. I don't know if you guys would be interested in what Grok showed me. Was that Grok? No, that was Gemini, right? It's Gemini. Hold on a minute. I think it was Gemini. I think it was Gemini. Hold on. Yeah, here, let me show you guys this. Here, let me show you. This is what AI can do to help you. So this is what I did with Gemini, right? And you can see over here, this is where I do a lot of my stuff for YouTube. But here's Gemini Help me create a small YouTube studio layout for trading, setup, computer, live streaming setup, and product review area. Areas 9x12, 2 computers, 5 monitors. Budget's 500 because my ass is broke. I have a webcam, Elgato mic, 2 Elgato Air lights. And this is what it spit out. And it gives you all kinds, right? Wall 1, wall 2, wall 3, wall 4. Tells you your trading, live streaming, what to do, placement, rationale for that placement, product reviews, storage. Like, this isn't like I'm not creating this shit. It's pointing me in the right direction. Now it's up to me to implement it. So, yep. All right, hold on. Let's bring up the charts again. Bang. Let's go, baby. There we go. Anyway, that's where we're at. It's looking like we're going to retrace. Go from daily low, daily high, right there. We're past that 20%. See what it wants to do here. Notice that 50% retracement is right here where this yellow box is. This yellow box is a bullish area. Minute and a half on this candle. If we're gonna go bearish, if we're gonna turn back around, we should see this candle come back up, snap into this fair value gap, and then come down. Or it could come back up, inverse this, and then take right back off. Who knows? Anyway, y'all, we're gonna lock this thing down. I appreciate everybody coming through today. I don't know if I'll be back on tomorrow, Thursday, maybe Thursday. Maybe we do this Tuesdays and Thursdays, y'all. Gives me a chance to rest on Monday, coming off the weekends. And maybe we go from there. All right, y'all. We're going to end it up. We are done for today. I appreciate you being with me, hanging out with me. You guys are a blessing. I appreciate you. We will talk to you soon. I will have a video for this channel, Day in the Life. Day in the life of a broke-ass Uber driver. And that's exactly what I'm going to call it. All right. Peace.